Bad Blood was quite the pay-per-view. Bad Blood was quite the pay-per-view in all of in itself. But what I most remember it for was its nice way of ending feuds and some not quite the ending I was expecting. However, the final moments of the show is what made it very, very interesting and as well as exciting to look forward to because the Bloodline is back in its glory days with Jimmy returning and basically everything starting to look up and everything starting to arise for the Bloodline. I think the only person who has been left out of that equation is none other than Jey. And that leads me to think when or if he'll ever return to the Bloodline in 2024. And I am going to try and predict to see if Jey is going to join this 2024. The Bloodline has been one of the most dominant integrating factions in WWE history. At the heart of all it has been Jey Uso, playing the private role in the group's exclusive rise to power. For months, we seen tensions brewing between Jey and the rest of the bloodline, particularly Roman and the Wise Man. And finally, it's blown over, leading Jey's to shocking separation from the faction, even though his brother made him do it, but then he came back for some reason. It questions everyone's mind as to what does this mean for the Bloodline's future. More importantly, what does it mean for Jey Uso himself? One thing's for sure, the Bloodline is not the same without Jey. It's hard to ignore the feeling that something's missing when Roman Reigns steps into the ring with his trusted right-hand man at, at his side. The dynamics of the groups have shifted. It's clear that Roman's focus has been affected by Jey's absence. The writing's been on the wall for a while. Jey's increasing frustration of Roman's growing paranoia, and it all came back to head when Jey finally took his leave. It's clear that Jey's been feeling it in the back, and Roman's refusal to give him a recognition he deserves has been driven the wedge between them. But this year, the big question for Jey is whether he'll eventually make his way back to the bloodline or forge the path he's already made for himself right now. I mean, a potential return to the bloodline would be massive in my opinion, and I think us, the fans, would really love it. I mean, I can kinda imagine the yeets and everything else that comes with it when he would reunite with Roman Reigns and Jey Uso. It would be one of the most significant moments of the year, if I would say, and it would be a whole new layer of depth into the story. Of course, there are some potential downsides to this reunion. I mean, would Jey go back to being on his old role? Or would he come back with a renewed sense of purpose and a new dynamic in this group? And what would the tension be between him and Roman after all these years? Would they be able to put their differences aside from the past and work together as a family again? The fans are desperate to see how this is going to happen. Me, more specifically. And WWE's kind of been leading up to it with Braun Breaker in some ways kind of simulating Roman Reigns a dominant force that he can take on. But in the end, it could be subtle signs to him with Roman in many ways. They hinted it, they teased it on multiple occasions. I mean, it's clear that WWE is building towards something big with The Rock and Solo and just about everything there is to the Bloodline story going forward. But if one thing's for sure, and it's that I can't wait to see how this is going to play out. Because in truth, this storyline is what everyone's interested in. And when everything's said and done, the final product is what is going to be remembered the most. So, I guess, as they say, wait and see. Because there's really nothing else to do. So, I hope you guys enjoyed. And if you agree with me with my predictions about Jey returning to the Bloodline, then leave it in the comments below. Thank you all so much for watching. Leave a like, support, and subscribe if you enjoyed this content. And I'll see you in that next video. And remember, stars unite.